Now, when we think of the audio aspect of gaming, automatically we think of either gaming headsets, those really big headphones, or gaming speakers. But now we have a brand new category in gaming audio, right? So these are the Stealth Sonics Vulcan Gaming IEMs. Now, you may not have heard of Stealth Sonics, and that's understandable. Now, they've kind of made their name in the pro audio industry, and their IEMs, or in-ear monitors, are used by some of the top pro audio professionals. And one of them is actually the Stealth Sonics U9, which I had the chance to listen to at their showroom. And I have to say, I used to use IEMs a lot many years ago when I was an audio engineer. And I have never heard anything as good as those IEMs. They are, right now, the best IEMs I have ever heard. But of course, we're not reviewing the U9 today, we are reviewing this. So again, these are the Stealth Sonics Vulcan Gaming IEMs, alright? Now, before we talk about the design and everything else, the unboxing is very straightforward. You get, obviously, the IEMs, the drivers here, you get this cable, alright? But there's more to it than that, but we'll speak about that later. But you also get a whole range of different ear tips, both silicone as well as foam. Now, there's a reason why they give you so many ear tips to choose from. Now, that's because when it comes to IEMs, the most important thing is making sure that you get the right fit, because if you don't, you're not going to get really good audio quality. It's going to move around a lot, especially for this. If you take a look here, you've got sort of a boom mic, or also known as like a gooseneck mic. This one, it weighs, it's not very heavy, but if you put it on and you don't have a good fit, you realize that it's going to start moving a bit. But yeah, talking about the design, first up is the IEM itself and the driver. Now, I love this finish. It's sort of a red chromatic, I don't know what you call, like a finish here. It looks really nice. Now, it kind of looks a little big, and then I first took it out, I was like, wow, this is quite big. But when you put it on, you actually realize that, it actually fits perfectly. And I gotta say, using it for a few hours gaming or editing, it was so comfortable. Now, the next thing we have, of course, is this mic. Now, this is a boom mic, or sometimes you call it a gooseneck mic. The reason they call it gooseneck is because it's very bendable or customizable. I don't know what you call it. You can sort of put it on and adjust it. Like now, if I put it on, all right, you can put it on here and you can easily move it to where it needs to be. And of course, you get this cable. So it has sort of like a braided, I don't think it's braided, but it's got that sort of braided texture, which is really nice. It feels really tough. But not just that. So right at the IEMs itself, you get an extra sort of like a plastic covering. Now, I think it serves two purposes. Number one, it reinforces what is possibly its weakest point here. Possibly its weakest point. But other than that, it also creates this curve, because when you put the IEMs on, it's supposed to wrap around your ear instead of just falling off here like that. It's supposed to wrap around. So with this plastic, it sort of gives you that shape already so that it doesn't fall off. Now, there are all sorts of gaming headsets, it's full of different models, but they all have one thing, especially in Singapore. If you're in a humid climate like Singapore, when you put them on, if your room is not air conditioned, or if it's a little warm, after a while, your ears are going to get really warm and they're going to sweat. I mean, a very good example is my gaming headset that I use right now, the Razer Kraken X. Now, it's a fantastic headset, but after a year using, if you look at the ear cushions, it's already starting to peel. And you've got the other thing of having a headset on. After a while, it is going to weigh on you. Now, even the lightest headset, after a while, you're going to feel not just the weight, but the pressure of the ear cups pushing on your ear. But with this, there is no pressure, right? You've got nothing pushing your ear down. You've got nothing pushing your ear in. There is no force going to your ear at all. It's really very comfortable. And I use this, I think, for about 6 hours. So a whole bunch of video editing plus gaming at night. I didn't feel any sweat, I didn't feel any pressure at all. Now, I mentioned something about the cable that I'll be speaking about later in this review. Now, you have this cable, all right? So this one has the microphone over here. And of course, you've got your 3.5mm audio jack. Now, if you want to use this as something that you use on the go, so like if you've got a Switch, or if you've got like your mobile phone, yes, you can, all right? And I'll talk about the audio quality in a bit. Now, you're gonna ask that question, obviously. What if my mobile phone doesn't have an audio jack? And right now, I think maybe 70-80% of all mobile phones don't have an audio jack anymore. Thanks, Apple. But you have a couple of options, all right? So the first one is this. So, I mean, you don't have to get this specific one, but what this is a USB Type-C to an audio out, or to a 3.5mm out. So you can plug this in here, all right? You can plug this into your phone and you get a wired option for audio. Now, you've also got a second option. If you don't want to do this, you can get this. So this is a Bluetooth cable that Stealth Sonics also sells, alright? So this one actually fits together with the driver, and you can use this as a Bluetooth IEM. Now, the absolute fantastic thing about this is that you don't need to buy a brand new set of IEMs from Stealth Sonics just to have Bluetooth capability, alright? You have the option to purchase this along with the IEMs, and we'll talk about the price later. All you have to do, alright, is just unplug it. So I can just unplug one. I'm just going to show you with one. I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to plug it in here. Alright, and automatically you have the IEM, the exact same IEMs. You're not buying a double one. But now you can use Bluetooth. Now, if you unplug them and you're not sure what goes where, now at the back of the IEMs, you have obviously left and right, they tell you which is which, but very small on the cable itself, alright, they will also indicate whether it's left or right. So just follow the one and you'll be alright. Now, some of you might be saying like, oh my God, you've got wired earbuds now, or IEMs, it's so old, it's past, everyone is using true wireless earbuds. Now yes, that's kind of true, but there are a couple of things. Now, number one, because these drivers, these IEMs don't have the Bluetooth capability built in, all you're getting here, everything here is pure audio drivers. So you need this cable to have the Bluetooth features. Now, this is not your ordinary Bluetooth module. Now, this supports Bluetooth 5.0, but also supports aptX HD. And of course, you also need your controls. So you've got the center button here for answering calls and playing music and all that. You've also got your volume controls, and if you look at this little small hole here, that's the microphone. Now, I have to say this Bluetooth option is fantastic, and it's a real winner for us consumers where you just have to have one. So I can have this, I can have it wired at home and I'm playing games. In fact, you can even use Bluetooth if you want for games, although in terms of latency, I wouldn't recommend it, but you have the wired option. And then when you want to go out, you can take this out, plug in the Bluetooth cable, and you're set. Alright, so this is a test using the microphone from the Stealth Sonics Vulcan IEMs. Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright, so this is using the mic from the Bluetooth cable of the Stealth Sonics Vulcan IEMs. Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright, so you heard two separate mic tests testing out the Stealth Sonics Vulcans. So the first one was, of course, with using this boom mic that's connected to the wired cable, and the microphone that comes out here from the Bluetooth cable. Now, as far as the boom mic goes, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. It sounds absolutely incredible. It is as good as some of the, enterprise headsets from Jabra and Plantronics. It sounds so good. You get real good body in the voice, good clarity as well. Definitely a real winner here. The mic from the Bluetooth cable, I would still say it's good. I would consider it passable or slightly above passable. Now, the reason I think is really because these were so good that this was sort of overshadowed. I still think it's pretty good, but this one I would say it's so much better. Alright, and of course, the most important thing is the audio quality. Now, again, I am super impressed with the audio quality. Now, let's separate audio quality in terms of gaming and like listening to music. Now, in terms of gaming, it's excellent in the sense that if you play a lot of FPS games, it's really good. You can hear almost every bullet fly really clearly, and yet you get good separation. If let's say you're on Discord talking to your friends while you're playing, everything is really crisp and clear. Now, for music listening, now the reason why I split it is because number one, you have sort of different priorities in terms of how you want the audio to sound if you're listening to music. And also, I understand that it can be a little bit subjective. How I like to listen to my music can be very different from you guys. But for me, I absolutely love it. Now, it has excellent clarity. Now, for me, I'm not the kind of guy that loves a lot of boom and a lot of body to your bass. I don't like the type that, just vibrates your entire body, and you're definitely not going to get that with this. But what you are getting is very natural sounding bass. Depending on the music you listen to, it is actually really good. The clarity is, again, it's some of the best that I've ever heard from any IEMs. So overall, I would say it's an excellent pair of like hybrid IEMs. It serves its purpose in gaming, and it's really good, especially for me when I listen to music. Now, is there anything that I don't like or anything that are absolute deal breakers for me with these IEMs? Well, no, but there are some things. Now, first of all, like I mentioned, you've got the wired cable, right? And with the wired cable, you have this sort of boom mic. Now, I don't think any of you are gonna want to, have this around while you're outside listening to music. And of course, Stealth Sonic has very excellently given you this option to get a Bluetooth cable extension. Now you get a microphone here, you can listen to music, which is great. Now, if like me, I always feel that you get better audio quality when you go wired, and that definitely is the case, but you don't want to have this around. The good news is you can take it out. So you can take it out and then you can use this purely as a pair of IEMs. The bad news is once you take that out, nope, no microphone at all. You don't get them anything built in to the IEMs. So on this cable, the minute you take this out, you don't have mic functionality at all. So you're gonna have to choose whether to have this in and walk around with this right next to your face, or take it out and not have a microphone. Now, Stealth Sonics also sells this, which is a sort of like a pro audio cable that they sell. I think it's about 89 Singapore dollars. Now, build quality wise, it automatically feels a lot better. It also has this sort of braid, although it's a very different braid from the stock cable that you get. I think it looks a bit different, but yeah, it comes in white. You have like the extra red here to sort of differentiate between your left and right. Having said that, this also does not have a microphone, so that doesn't solve the problem either. Now, what I think would have been a good solution was to add a second microphone either here together with this, or have a separate cable with a built-in microphone. Now, of course, you're not going to get the same kind of audio quality that you would get on this. It would be unfair to expect that. But just having an extra mic here would have made it so much easier, because imagine you're listening to music on this and then you get a phone call. I have to unplug this, answer the phone, and it's kind of weird where every other earphone on the market today has microphones. Now, the other thing is, of course, like I said, you got the Bluetooth cable. Now, I kind of wish they had the same texture, right? So this one is a regular straight cable. I wish you had that same braided texture, because this feels a lot tougher. But the other thing is you don't get that extra reinforcement over here. Now, when you put your IEMs over your ears, like I mentioned, it has to go around your ear. Now, when I put them on, it doesn't have that plastic piece like you do in the wire to sort of keep it in place. Now, when I have it around like that, a lot of times when I'm walking, it kind of falls over and it doesn't stay behind. But yeah, I mean, even if they can't have this sort of braided texture, it would have been good if they at least have that plastic reinforcement like the ones over here, so that the cable stays in this shape. All right, so let's talk about the price. So this is where it gets a bit interesting. So it's actually layered depending on what you want to get. It's a little bit customizable as well. Like I said, whether you get the wired cable or you get the Bluetooth cable, it's the same drivers. You don't need to buy a second pair, all right? So if let's say you were to get this, the IEMs with just the wired cable with this gooseneck mic, this comes in at about 218 Singapore dollars. Now, if you decide to get the Stealth Sonics Vulcan IEMs with just the Bluetooth cable, that will cost you about 248 Singapore dollars. However, you can actually bundle them together. So if you want the entire set, so let's say I get the Stealth Sonics Vulcans with the wired cable with the mic and the Bluetooth as well, that comes in at about 318 Singapore dollars. Look at it this way, you are effectively getting two sets of IEMs in a sense, because you have the wired option, you have the wireless option. So if let's say you're at home gaming, you can go with the wired option. With the microphone, you get excellent mic quality, you get excellent audio quality, and then when you want to go out and you want to listen to music on your phone, you can either use this or you can switch to Bluetooth. So you have something that's really versatile, and in some ways, technically two sets of IEMs. But all in all, I would say Stealth Sonics has come into the gaming market with a brand new category, and they have come in with a bang. They have come in with excellent build quality, excellent audio quality, and with this, I will have to say right now, one of the best microphone qualities out there. And of course, in the title of the video, I did say there was a promo code, right? So yes, there is. So enter the promo code down here to get an additional 10% off your purchase, all right? But that about wraps it up, guys. Now, thank you so much for watching. I'm JP, and I'll see you real soon.